Hi and welcome to the Paperless Movement YouTube channel. I'm Tom Solid and I help you to level up your digital life. Today I will show you why Todoist is still my favorite personal task manager of all time, and I'll do this by splitting this video into two parts. In the first part I will explain to you exactly why I struggled to get things done for a long time and how I overcame this with a few simple tweaks of my own productivity system. In the second part, I will dive into how I integrated Todoist into my own productivity setup in the most efficient way possible and why Todoist is the only personal task manager that can do the job for me. You might be tempted to skip the first part, but I assure you watching it will give you all you need to know to get things done no matter what tool you use. So let's dive into it. Having a task list is actually something nice. I think all of us know how nice it is to have a piece of paper or sheet of paper with a list of things that we want to do, and we tick them off, and there's nothing more satisfying than ticking off those tasks. That makes fun as long as this is only a one-pager and we see the end of the list. The issue really is when we have more than one page of tasks to do. And that's what I want to talk about today. The task list is infinite and a calendar is finite. Your time is finite. And as long as we are not starting to plan out these tasks on our calendar, you will always run into trouble because people will come and give you new tasks. You will add new tasks and so on, just adding them to the to-do list. And then you go into this firefighter mode where you work on the most urgent tasks because they are overdue since a week or whatever. So we want to get away from this, so plan ahead. And it's not only the task list. There is also meetings. And I'm not talking only about meetings, it's also appointments, like appointment with the doctor or kindergarten or whatever. And those meetings can also be infinite. You're talking to somebody and, great topic, and you talk, instead of 1 hour, you talk 2 hours and so on. So what do? Most of us do this. We plan meetings and appointments in the calendar to make them finite. That's what most of us already do. So why don't we do this with the tasks? Okay, so when you're in a meeting or an appointment, you say, I have an appointment with the doctor or whatever, I have to leave now. You plan this in your calendar, you know that you have to leave now and you have a reason to leave. And that's the same for the task. Make them finite by adding them to your calendar. Say in the meeting you have to go to the next meeting, which is actually the meeting with yourself working on a task. And believe me, I was in a situation where my whole calendar was filled up with meetings and I was talking the whole day and felt very busy but never got anything done. And this is because I didn't block time in my calendar. People were just adding up time. And that's when I started to block the time for tasks to get them done. So the calendar is still finite, and this means when we add the tasks and the meetings to our calendar, this means the rest that we have in our calendar will be our leisure time, right? Well, that's when, again, we overwhelm ourselves because we are filling up the calendar. Maybe the whole calendar is full with meetings and you add the task in the evening and in the morning to get these tasks done and so on. Wrong. Do it the other way around. Add your leisure time to the calendar to block your free time. The time where you want to be with your family, where you want to follow up on your hobby and things like this. You have to add this as well and take them as serious as meetings and tasks. Why am I saying this? You don't want to be overcomplicating things. Maybe you want to, but I wouldn't read a book here and go to the gym there and things like this. Maybe make just long blocks, like 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day, where you block out time for leisure time. That's just so nobody else can add meetings in this time block, and also you can't add any tasks to this block. So don't do this. There's another thing. You want to add these tasks to your calendar, but please avoid to do this manually. Okay, don't duplicate information. I know it's not very easy in most cases. You have a task manager of some sort or even on paper, and you need to plan it out on a calendar. And the issue here really is, it works maybe to add it to the calendar and then you plan the times, as long as you don't add any due dates in your task manager, because then you have already to manage 2 due dates at the same time. The other thing is, you can leave away the due date on the task list and plan it in a calendar. However, as soon as you change anything in a task, information or the title even, it stays the same in the calendar. You still have to manage it manually, and that is easy if you have a few tasks, but as we showed before, it becomes very complicated and overwhelming, and then you have to manage more than you actually can work on this. So you even have to block time to manage your calendar and all this. So we don't want to have this. I show you 2 solutions actually now for this. One would be use only the calendar as your task list. So you have everything in one place. And how can you do this? For example, in Google Calendar, and the Google Calendar is for free. You can plan out your tasks over the week, and then you can use colors to mark them as done or busy and so on. You also have the task manager of Google integrates with your calendar, so you could use this as well and so on. But if you really want just to use a calendar, that's one way to do it. Add the task there and indicate with the colors if it needs to be done. Red, for example, it's important that you get this done. It's not allowed to move around. You can make up your own definitions and your workflows with this. That's one simple reason. For me, it's no solution. I need to use a task manager in addition. So I need my calendar and my task list to be synchronized 2 ways. 2-way synchronization. And therefore I'm using Todoist and Google Calendar. And why am I using Todoist? 2 simple reasons. It's available on any device, really on any device, because I have web access to it. And other than Things 3, for example, Things 3 is only available on Apple. So for me, Todoist is really the way to go for. And then we have the 2-way synchronization with the Google Calendar. Actually, it's only possible right now that Todoist synchronized with the Google Calendar 2 ways. It's not possible, for example, for Outlook and so on. And I'm aware of that so many other task managers enable you to use calendar synchronization. So for the task managers that sync to your calendar, and so many offer this, all this does is actually adding another calendar inside your calendar and showing the tasks there. But it just shows those tasks. It is not actually blocking your time, and that's what I talked before. You have to block your time. So you can show your task, and in order to block them, you need to either invite yourself to this task or make another task in there to actually block this time. But then you didn't win anything, because then we are back to what I said before, that you have to manage too many things. So that's the really one good reason why I'm still using Todoist. It is so perfectly integrated with my Google Calendar that I have a one sheet, as I said before, the one sheet of to-dos that I can tick off, synchronized with my calendar, where it's planned out when I want to work on these things. So that's the part of the personal task management actually. That's how it works for me for the personal task management. However, this is not project management. It is not Todoist. In my opinion, you can have projects in there, you can do collaboration, but it's not a proper project manager. And I doubt that it will ever be one. In the last 9 minutes, I shared a lot of information with you that will hopefully give you some great ideas how you can improve your own productivity system to make it more efficient. However, what you just saw is just a small part of one of the monthly live webinars that I do for my Inner Circle members. If you want to watch the full 40 minutes webinar recording where I go even deeper into how task lists need to be organized and how I automate my workflows and integrate them with other tools like the project managers, then you should join the Inner Circle membership. This will give you instant access to this and all the other webinars that I already recorded about other topics such as knowledge management, mind mapping and many more. If you like this video, then please share it with your friends and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel so I can catch you up next time.